Good morning, first grade family. Welcome back to class. As you can see, we have a lot of fun stuff today for our jumping and landing lesson. But before we get into the activities, let's go over technique. When we jump, we have to set up, and we remember 3 different things when we set up to jump. And just like how we shuffle side to side for our dynamic warm-up while keeping our knees and hips bent, we're going to do the same thing for jumping and landing. So you're going to begin in your personal space right now. I want everyone to follow my movements. We're going to have our feet shoulder width apart, our knees slightly bent, and our hips slightly bent. This is going to give us a bounce for the jump. The next thing that we're going to be doing is having our arms swing back. So after we bend our knees and our hips, our arm swings back. This is what it looks like from the side, and that's how we begin to prepare for the jump. Now what I want us to do when I say go is you're gonna find a buddy. It can be anybody, and if you don't have a buddy, you can come to me. But what you're gonna do with your buddy is you're gonna tell them those 3 things that we just went over. Bending at your knees, your hips, and swinging your arm back. Those are gonna be cues for the day. So we have to keep them with us while we go through all of our activities. So when I say go, find a buddy and tell them those cues 3 times. Ready? Go. Freeze. Awesome jobs, buddies. Thank you guys. I was hearing the right answers and the right cues, and we love to see that. Now let's get into the jump. One thing that I want us to remember is that we're exploding, right? Our knees and our hips are bent, our arms are back. We swing forward, explode, and when we land, we have to remember a few things. We want to land really quietly so we can be nice to our knees and our hips when we're older. So you're going to, when you land, bend your knees and your hips again and kind of absorb the impact of everything. So I'm gonna get ready for my jump. Knees and hips are bent, my arms back, explode into the air, and then bend my knees when I land and come down really quietly. So with your partner right now, when I say go, I want you guys to practice jumping up and landing really quietly 3 to 5 times. Ready, go. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, you guys, that looked so good. I was seeing everybody explode, but I couldn't hear you. And that's exactly what we want. I think we're ready for our first activity. Our first activity today is called Shark Attack. So basically, I'm gonna have you guys line up shoulder to shoulder with a buddy at one end of the basketball court. And as you can see, we have a bunch of poly spots set up. And so what you're going to be doing is jumping, when I call your number, across the poly spots, across the water. Now you have to land on a poly spot or else you're gonna get bitten by a shark, because there are sharks in the water, remember. So it's super important to only go when I call your number and to remember the cues that we just talked about. As we go on, I'll make it a little bit harder. We'll be jumping from only one leg, landing on only one leg, and only using certain color poly spots. So I'm gonna give you guys a number, and when I say go, we can begin. Ready, go. Some jobs, you guys. I think we're ready for our next activity. It is hopscotch. We all know that you jump from square to square, so we're gonna start off pretty easy and just go from 2 feet and jump through the squares. So it's going to look like this. And just jump all the way through. We're going to do this one a couple times, and then we're going to move to our next one. This one is a little bit difficult. As you can see, we're going to be jumping 1 foot, and then when these little side boxes poke out, we're going to be landing on 2 feet. So it'll look like this. If you want to switch feet, you can to make it a little bit harder for yourselves, but feel free to go in between these 2 patterns for the activity, and I will let you guys know when to start. Ready, go. Awesome job, you guys. Everybody was looking like they were having so much fun with hopscotch. If you want, you can ask your adults to get you some chalk and maybe see if you can practice this at home. So our last activity for the day is going to be kind of stations, putting together all the fun stuff that we learned today. So our first station is hopscotch. Our cues, remember, bending your knees and hips, exploding forward to the next box. And for this one, we're going to be jumping off of 2 feet. So this is station 1 right here. Station 2 is called zigzag. We're gonna walk over to the poly spots right here, and we're gonna jump on 1 foot from poly spot to poly spot. It'll look like this. And that's what we're doing here, making sure we're landing really softly and bending our knees. Our next one is called bunny hops. We're going to be jumping off of 2 feet and landing on 2 feet like a bunny over the 2 pool needles on the ground. So it's going to look like this. And that is station number 3. Same cues as the other 2. Our 4th station is hopscotch. With this one, I want us to be going off of 1 foot and only landing on 2 feet on the side boxes, so it'll look like this. And our last one is called the long jump or a frog jump. We are going to jump like a frog as far as we can across the pool noodle. And I'm gonna start again, this one, my arms back, and explode forward, landing really quietly. And then after you guys finish station 5, we're going to be cycling through them all a few times. When I say go, we're gonna get started. Ready, go. All right, you guys, that was our last activity for the day. I hope we all had so much fun and we remembered how to jump and land for the future. Again, if you want to practice hopscotch with your adults, you can ask them for some chalk and maybe you could practice and show me your skills for next time. But that's all I have for today, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.